To help myself become a better dog trainer, I often film myself and then critique my training. And tonight I sat down to train the dogs. I had them both with me. I was treating Zucchini for staying on place, and I was treating Maple for doing singular position commands: sit, down, stand. And this session ended up me having to figure out an issue with Zucchini. She was not listening to a command that she usually is really on top of. And I went back and watched the video of me training this situation out. She would not do a down for more than a split second, and we have worked on her duration of downs a lot. She should hold a down really well. And I had to go down a couple of different problem solving routes to finally get her to down for more than a split second. Watching the video, watching my own brain work, I was like, oh yes, this is where I thought of that process. This is where I tried this thing. This is where you can see me thinking about the next thing. I didn't ever get frustrated because I knew that I was asking her to do something and she was saying, no, I'm not able to do that right now. And me trying all these different methods of trying to get her to lay down for more than just a split second took some different avenues. First, I went back and I started retreating more frequently. Like, here's a treat. Now here's another treat. Now here's another treat. No, she wouldn't even let me get to the second treat with a really high frequency of reward. She would break her down, stand up. I pulled the classic move of trying to repeat the command when she broke it and just make her do it again before I'd give her a treat. And she just stopped listening altogether. And I was like, okay, refresh, reset, think a second. So I asked her to do like a sit and a couple of touches and a stand, and all the while I'm treating Maple on my other side because she's staying on her place, ignoring this whole session. And at this point, I'm wondering if she's not wanting to lay on the ground because it's hard, and we started with place, and that place was on a nice cushy spot. So she's like, now that you've shown me that I can down on place, why should I down on the hard floor? Which is a very teenagery puppy thing to do. And even if this is the case, if I ever want her to do service work, she has to proof her down on hard surfaces. She can't just be laying on pillows all the time, even though she's bony. So you see it click in my brain. I was like, I need to up the value of reinforcement. And I stand up and I get into my fridge and I get a little chunk of imitation crab. Honestly, imitation crab is easy to break off and it's really stinky and dogs really like it. And I ask her to down with the imitation crab. And she looks at me like I've grown a third head. Like, no way I'm freaking doing that. I was like, Kate, we're going back to basics. So I take the food up to her nose, lure her down until she's in a down, and then just like start chucking the crab at her. I grabbed like 3, so I was like, yes, 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 yes. And then we ended there. I wanted to tell you this for 2 reasons. One, going back and watching the video, I could process again what I was processing and walk myself through it again. Zucchini has hit a teenage period stage, whatever you want to call it. She's almost 6 months old and she is going to gain more of preferences, more personality traits, and she may get a little bit harder to train, especially because she's a sight hound, and sight hounds can grow to be stubborn even if they were pretty easygoing as puppies. I know that poodles are very forgiving dogs compared to sight hounds, and that if I moved on from that I couldn't get Maple or a poodle to lay down, it would be fine. But if I let Zucchini practice being stubborn, she wanted to work for a higher value treat. She knew what I wanted. She was just like, I'm uncomfortable. I knew she was uncomfortable with her little elbows on the bony floor, and I was like, okay, then how do I make this more comfortable for her? I'm gonna pay her better.